All right, we're live. We're live. Good evening. How's everybody doing? What's up, brother?
What's going on, y'all? Hey, it's Dorian Dimensions, aka the Realm Renegade, out here once again in the third dimension with my homeboy Raph, ready to do the thing. Coin cult in the building.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's dive deep. We have really cool topics for you guys today. We're gonna talk about three major topics. We're not gonna disclose the topics right now. We're gonna go as we go with the topics because everything blends in together. There's
That's
really
right.
cool, interesting updates in the crypto world and what's happening in our world, our society, or the news, whatever you want to call it. So, first thing we're gonna talk about in this podcast is the current situation on the crypto world, right?
It's crazy. It's unbelievable what's going on out here.
You can call it a sea of blood. Everything is red. Everything goes down. Some days goes up, but it doesn't last too long, and then it keeps, going down and down and down. But let's take a look.
Wild,
it's wild.
Volatile, man. They're so volatile out here. Just skyrocketing up, then plummeting and crashing back down. Bro, it's wild out here. That's all I have to say.
It's craziness, man. It's craziness. A few months ago, Bitcoin was almost at $20,000, and today it's on 6,654. So,
this is the lowest that we've seen it in a long time.
Yes, it's been in a long time. It's gonna be. Last time it was up this high was in August, and then it started, with this bullish behavior. It's just climbing like a mad bull, like with rabies. But then it always, the past 3-4 years, there's a pattern, right? With the Bitcoin and the good cryptocurrencies, the real ones, they all follow the Fibonacci retracement patterns. So that means that they have a specific sequence that they have to go through, and going up and down is definitely one of them. And every time towards December, that's when Bitcoin gets the highest, and then it always goes down. And it's been doing this for the past 3-4 years. So there's no surprise that it happened this time, but there's also some consequences in the news and in the world that made it, go down all the way to this level, right? However, Bitcoin is an asset, and it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to go up and down. There's a lot of people who just believe in Bitcoin for the sakes of the profits and making money with it. But there's a lot of people that are actually the hodlers, right? The people that hodl their coins because they believe in not only Bitcoin, but the blockchain and what it's going to benefit the world with. And they have very clearly that this is the future. And it seems that there's no way back at going at this. That's why you see a lot of entities, high banks, high businesses, top 500 Fortune companies creating their own cryptos. They're keeping it quiet because they don't want to do too much noise, while they can get leverage on the low prices and continue to build. But trust me, all these people are doing stuff behind the scenes like you have no idea, because this is how it's going to be. This is the future. And we have really cool, exciting altcoin project that if you jump in today, you can definitely, I see a strong future for this altcoin that we're going to disclose in a little bit.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely excited to hear about that altcoin as well. I'm not going to lie, me personally, the past few weeks, I've been out of the cryptoverse in regards to keeping my eye on newer developments and newer companies that have been popping out. So I'm definitely excited about this one. My mind, I've been kind of being swayed to other things, especially, current events and what's going on in the actual physical market, which does play part into what's going on in the cryptoverse as well. There are reasons why, the cryptoverse, we're seeing, all of these cryptocurrencies taking dives. There's reasons why we're seeing this. It's the same reason why we're seeing the market, stock market is dropping as well. But Raph, I'm definitely excited to hear about this new altcoin that you're talking about, though.
Yeah, man.
I definitely want to hear what's definitely popping off with that thing.
I'll explain you guys why I like this one, why I believe it's going to be a good investment for you. And this is how you can ditch out if a project has validity or solidity, right? Or it's valid among the blockchain and the users, and if it resonates with people, because everything in the crypto world is based off symbolism. And this is a very important aspect. And this is how you can ditch out the newbies from the experts. A newbie is just going to create just a crypto just to benefit from, if it's an ICO, which unfortunately it's so easy to scam with an ICO, especially on the decentralized market. If it's an ICO made for for just the benefit of profiting or stealing money or just putting money together and not fulfilling on what the project was really meant for, it's really simple to take the money and run away. But that is something that makes us look bad on the crypto world. It's not our fault, but it's just the nature of it, and it's just people taking advantage of that. But those are the low IQ level people that they don't believe, they just want to make money out of it quickly, and they don't have the right mindset for this. But, you know, I'm not going to judge anyone. Everyone has its purposes and whatnot. But the reason why I'm going to show you this particular project is because it has a lot of symbolism, and what it benefits, I think it's going to be massive, because it specifically benefits the small and medium-sized businesses, and we have millions of them in the world. So this is going to be massive. But before we jump into that, Dorian, why don't you explain a little bit why, like we have right here on my screen, it looks like a bloodbath, right? Everything's red, but let's focus on a little bit of the symbols, right? Like why Ethereum is like a diamond, and why is, for example, IOTA, this three symbols going in like a tornado, in like a circle. Everything here has, like Tron, TRX. Why is it like this polygon? Everything here has a specific reason. And can you tell us a little bit why this is?
Yeah, for sure. So it goes into pretty deep things in regards to what's happening in the cryptoverse. Now, there's going to be some people that may listen or hear some of this information and may think that I may be out of my mind in regards to this, or they may see it and not be able to believe it, because the cognitive dissonance will be so high. In regards to computer coding and cryptocurrencies and everything like that, one has to understand something. For one, when you're coding, it's not what people think that it is. Language and coding creates. And as you're doing coding, you're doing a bunch of repeating patterns, numerology patterns, and commands that eventually you're creating what's called rituals. And through that, also, you start dabbling into sigil magic. What happens is, with some of these things and some of these icons that are being used, a lot of these companies and a lot of the brains behind this type of coding and way that energy is being moved, it's on some dark occult knowledge. And not only that, but Masonic type of Luciferian teachings as well. It does sound a little far-fetched and out there, but when you start to realize some of the players in the game, and you start realizing what their motives are for their companies, which, don't get it twisted, all you need to do is actually go in and read the white papers, or go in and see what these companies are doing. They're actually not recreating, they are creating a new dimension and a new reality, period. All anyone needs to do is take a look to see what's happening. This is called the digital dimension. This is the cryptoverse that we're talking about when we're talking about cryptocurrencies, the cryptoverse, and this is for the digital dimension. And this is a dimension in which we are going to be residing in as well, and being players in, and some of us already are. But when we get into some of these symbols, do not be surprised when you start seeing a bunch of symbols that involve squares, because these involve cubes. This goes down to Saturn worship. This goes into Luciferian and dark occult ritualistic teachings that when you have a lot of money, which a lot of these people are getting a lot of money, and you need to understand where they're getting most of their money from. The ones who are investing very heavily and are backing these companies are the likes of, just to drop names, Peter Thiel. And there's no need to shy away from saying that name because he owns almost all of those coins on that list.
That's
And,
right.
yeah, literally, Ethereum, I'm pretty sure it's his. Ripple, I'm pretty sure it's his. At the end of the day, and just take a look at how powerful this cat is. SpaceX. You think that SpaceX is Elon Musk's company? No, that's Peter Thiel's. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? When you get
100%.
The majority of the money, that's your company. Well, you got to understand the type of thinking that these cats have and where these cats are coming from in regards to their understanding of things and how they move energy and manipulate energy. These cats have created artificial intelligences that seem to be almost sentient. They only are going to continue to evolve. It's evolving quickly, but let's get back to those symbols. Don't be surprised to see a bunch of square symbols. It's going to be involving Saturn worship. Don't be surprised to start seeing diamonds and pyramids, because this is going back to ancient symbology as well. Ancient symbology to the old world teachings that involve energy, conjuring, universal energy. Do not be misled. They hide a bunch of these things right in front of our face. All one needs to do is take a look at the type of terminology that is used as well. Terminology with all of these companies are going to be involving oracles. They're going to be involving spirits, resonance, everything that has to do with the sixth senses and higher. The ones that they don't teach us, but we do have. The ones that are more along the dark occult or hidden teaching and hidden senses and such. Yeah, it's hidden within just even the symbology of these companies. Not to mention, like I said, what they are admitting that they're doing, literally birthing a new entity, birthing a new creation, the artificial intelligence, which some of these companies are heavily involved with the pushing forth of the new human or the new consciousness, which would be, uploading our IQs and our minds into servers or into particular surrogates and artificial intelligences where we would then reside forever on servers throughout the whole internet. I could keep on diving deep and it sounds crazy, but unfortunately the crazy thing is all of this stuff that I was talking about is actually here right now.
It's right here in front of our faces.
Right. That's the wild thing.
It is. It is so wild. Wow.
But
That's
you're going to
awesome.
see, symbols of so many of these companies are using symbols of, the all-seeing eye or the eye of Ra. Keep your eye open for a lot of ancient symbolisms in regards to, some of the hieroglyphs and Egyptian types of symbology and also the dark occult symbology. A lot of these cats roll off the teachings of the Book of the Law, or don't be surprised, if some of your favorite coin owners are pay high respect to Aleister Crowley. And, a lot of these symbols and particular verbiage and words and everything like that, are a tip of the hat to the Aleister Crowley. So, by the works of some of these companies don't even know that they're doing it. They're just following suit. But the ones that are of the high caliber, they know exactly what they're doing. I mean, there's no coincidence that, they are the ones that are at the forefront of the emergence of some of these artificial intelligence systems. And not only that, but there's also now a religion that was created by one of Google's top engineers, not only Google, but also Uber. He's the top engineer to these big, massive companies. And, he just created a religion as well that has been passed and accepted that's to serve the AI as God. Because, the advancements in regards to how the artificial intelligence and their what they're capable of. I mean, they're capable of processing information faster than, you know, all of us combined. They have access to, they live on a server of information where they can just grasp and capture that information immediately. You know, we as the public have things like Siri and Cortana and Alexa, and we think that, you know, it's something special that we can tell them what to do and they can, you know, play music for us and change the lights around and this and that. That's stuff that mainstream pawns have. That's not talking about the deep quantum neurological computing systems that are out here that require massive amounts of processing power and energy just to fuel that beast that continues to evolve. Well, yeah, that's what the cryptoverse is doing. We're paying for all of that advancement.
This all info is happening behind the scenes as we speak. It's fact. It's happening. And just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but it's the foundation and the backbone of all this. This is just the top 100 of all this ecosystem that's being created, of all this universe, you know? And it's all, right. It's all thanks to the idea and innovation of blockchain. And there's other cryptos that are interesting, that they have their own blockchain, because blockchain is a mathematical system. You can minimize that mathematical system and create just one function that will serve as a blockchain without being a blockchain. That's how you have projects like IOTA, and other products are blockchain-less projects that still rely on the principles, but it's a minimized version, so they can perform faster transactions. And all this that I'm telling has a specific background and a specific layers of why it was put like that. If it wouldn't be because of those specific characteristics, none of this would happen. And it can be a little bit hard to grasp at the beginning, but if you are passionate into the crypto world, this all makes sense to you at one point. So why don't we jump on what we have, and we can continue with the symbols, because this one has pretty obvious symbols. If you guys are already aware, I have it right here on my tabs. The crypto that I want to share with you guys tonight is called POA. We're gonna take a look really quick here at their at the status. POA, Oracle's network, right now it's at 31 cents, negative 14%. It's being on almost $1 earlier last year, I believe. So I don't see why not. This can come up again after this all bloodbath is over. So far it's a pretty good investment. Let's go over at their website and see what they have to offer. So right here,
and if you take a look there, it said Oracle's network.
Yes.
Like I said, there's a lot of these companies use things like Oracle, Spirit, Wizard. You know, they use all of the old mystic terminologies as well. This is like a real life.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dragons, real talk, man.
Yeah, man.
Revenge of the Nerds, real life Dungeons and Dragons, and everybody's involved.
Everyone's involved and everything. Here's the cool thing. I grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons. I used to grow up playing the games from Wizards of the Coast, which they own, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, which I still play as of today. I love this game. And what you do is when you play Dungeons and Dragons, the reason why I love that game so much was because it's infinite. It never stops. It's like it's always, there's no ending. Like you can play for 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours. You can play for like 5 days straight. It's not ever going to end because it's a whole universe of its own, and it's a blockchain functionality. It has a blockchain functionality, and here's the coolest thing: you have to play with the dices. You have to put you have to play with luck. You have to play with the odds and probabilities and numerology and all these things translates into this. It might sound so crazy, but it's real life. It's facts, you know. It's just nuts. And all these terms that you're saying, oracles, wizards, conjuring, magic, it's all right here in front of us, but translated into our times nowadays.
That's right. Yeah, with what you were saying as well, Dungeons and Dragons, that was a game, you know, where you're throwing the dice and you're playing with your friends. You've got books and things like that. You're going through these things. You're playing more fourth dimensionally, whereas now this has actually come into fruition. This has been spoken into existence, and now it's actually here, coming into fruition. And a lot of these companies that are still working off these ICOs, these initial coin offerings, they're providing you with an idea. They're providing you with a thought. And that thought and idea is working a few different ways. It's working in the way that cats who really understand it go, oh my God, I see the value in this. I see in the next few years with the type of money that you'll receive, that you'll be able to deliver this type of technology and this type of a product or service that will be on the blockchain. And those are the type of cats that invest smart and properly in regards to these things. And then you have a bunch of people that are pawns out here that are thinking get rich quick. They're thinking they're seeing the movement, they're seeing the energy, this and that. They have no idea what blockchain technology is. They have no idea what's going on with these particular companies. They just know that, holy crap, it seems like, or I'm getting word that this particular ICO or coin is about to jump up in price. Yeah, let me be in, because I want to be able to spend a minimal investment and get maximum return as soon as I buy low and sell high. And you know what I'm saying? So these are the type of cats that are going in there, just flip-flopping in the market when things are just that whisper of something going awry. They're jumping out and they're jumping into something else, or they're being jumping out altogether because they feel like they were burned by the crypto market. But half these cats haven't even been in the market for more than 6 months. But
that's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of confusion out here. A lot of people have no idea what's going on. Even the cats that are making money, cats out here have no idea what's really going on. Hey, Raph is out here. Dorian Dimensions, the Realm Renegade is out here. We actually read some of these white papers. We read what these companies are doing. We start to find out who's behind these companies. And we try to figure out and decipher what's really going down and break it down. And that's what we're doing out here.
That's right. We're chunking it down and bringing it to you guys so you get to at least kind of like grasp what we're talking about and what we call this mining sessions, because we're solving blocks. We're getting ideas and we're computers. My brain and Dorian's brain right now, what we're doing is crunching algorithms, but we explain this to you. And you might participate in that too when you start listening to us. You're going to start, constructing and constructing, analyzing all these algorithms, all these ideas, all this energy, all this frequency that we're telling you. And then you're going to come up with an idea of your own and create a block, and you're going to get a satisfaction, which is knowledge. And you can keep racking that up until you get more knowledge and more knowledge. And this is how a lot of things work in the blockchain.
That's right. That's literally how blockchain technologies work.
It's magic. It's beautiful. It's nature.
Yeah, and that's what it was emulated after. The coding was written to emulate human consciousness, and that's exactly what it does. And I'm sure we really need to be consistent in regards to putting out videos like this. But the more that we do that, and the more that we speak, the more that cats will understand exactly what we mean. That the blockchain is just the emulation of how our consciousness works and how our IQs expand in regards to the way that we data mine when we have intellectual conversation and start to break things down. We're working algorithms. We're working an algorithmic equation. And once we solve that, we get to a point where resistance starts to be heavy. You start to see that when cats start to speak about a lot of deep things, and resistance starts to get heavy. Sometimes things happen like the computer shuts down, or there starts to be massive static, or distractions start to come in the most grandiose ways. And that's because you're hitting a point of resistance, where it's just the protons and neutrons and everything's coming together, and it's about to be an explosion, and bam, you get through that. And what happens? The task is completed, the algorithm is solved, a block is created, and a form of a reward is given. And that's what the artificial intelligence does when it provides the block is provided, and the artificial intelligence, gives a coin or
100%. 100%. I love it. I love it. That's so on point, and that's actually what happens. In all those resistance, all that. Right now, my computer. Every time that I speak with you, Dorian, our devices go nuts because it's the medium that we're using. It's the nodes that we're using to get this across to people. And when we're delivering a heavy information, so our computers are going to do it. But my computer right now, the fans are going nuts. Even though I'm not using I have 16 gigs of RAM. I'm down to 3, and I'm just doing like a simple live conference with Zoom, you know? So it's nuts. And that's, if you want to translate that into the crypto world, look at the difficult level on Bitcoin. When you mine Bitcoin,
Right.
the difficult level that goes exponentially through the years, the more users, the more coins are out there circulating, the difficult is going to keep increasing. So part of the difficult, to make it fair for everyone, that's why the machines that you had in the past are not longer working anymore. They become obsolete because new machines, higher capacity, more capable, you know, machines are only the ones that can able to solve and go along with the difficulty. That's why the more you get deep into the crypto world and the more you understand about this, then the higher your brain is in capacity to keep solving similar algorithms. But if you don't train it, if you don't keep doing it, it's going to be harder for you to grasp this information. It's all about practice. You know how it translates? Right. It all translates into, I love it because it's just like nature. You know, it's just the way it is. If you want to practice how to ride a bike, you have to do it every single time. You want to fall multiple times, or you're going to start with the 2 little wheelies in the back. They're going to remove one and then the other one until you can start doing it with only 2 wheels. But it's going to take you some time to solve those algorithms, to learn how to ride the bike, to get those blocks, to get that satisfaction, that solution, to go to the next level. Same thing applies to difficulty. That's
right, 100%. And that's a great way to explain it. You know, not too many cats, you know, really break things down and explain things. So that leaves, you know, ones who are really trying to grasp and understand how things really go down. It leaves them, you know, with a bunch of holes. And, you know, when you're talking about blockchain and these technologies, and once you start getting into really, really deep, complex algorithms or complex ideologies or philosophies in regards to these AI systems and things like that, you know, you have to understand some of those basics first. You know, just like you said, riding a bike, man, you got to start with those training wheels first. You know, work those algorithms first before you get down to the 2 wheels.
That's right. It all happens naturally. So let's dive deep into POA. So we have POA. POA. I'm going to explain to you, very simple. You don't have to, well, I recommend, of course, that you go through this site, and it's very interesting. Everything is so well laid out, which I love. You know, when I see a site like this with a solid video and a very logical explanation, and also easy to understand one, that definitely adds bonus points or positive points to the judgment that I have and why I believe this is a good project. So POA network, POA stands for proof of authority consensus. What POA is going to be doing and is going to be helping and benefiting an audience is with DApps. DApps are decentralized applications. Decentralized applications are all the applications that can be built off blockchain. So you know by the get-go that everything that is going to be done in this network, in this POA network, is going to be decentralized and it's going to be a smart contract. So everything's going to have solidity. Everything's going to be solid for both ends, which is number one feature of having a smart contract, is that both ends are met equally. Everything balances, so it's right and can continue to improve. Now, this is going to benefit small and medium-sized businesses, because this is the purpose of POA. A lot of the small and medium-sized businesses, they don't know about this technology. They don't know about the blockchain the way we understand it. They have skills on different things. For example, sales, marketing, I don't know, whatever they do at what they do and the service that they're offering, they're good at. But here's when projects like POA comes into help. They're going to be the ones that are going to be provide a network, and where these companies can start putting their services as DApps, as decentralized applications, start running in this ecosystem. And if you think about how many small and medium-sized businesses exist in the world, they're countless. There's millions of small and medium-sized businesses, and this is oriented for them. So if you can start thinking about the volume and the cap for this project, there's only, I believe, 200 million units of POA. There's only 60 million units of Bitcoin in circulation that can be possible at one point. On this one, they set up a cap at 200 million, so it's a good number. That tells me that it can be easily surpass the $1 mark, which it has happened before, and right now it's at 31 cents. But what I want to tell you with this is that the users on this project are going to be a vast number, because it's all about the medium and small and medium-sized businesses. So the more users are using this token in circulation, the more users start adapting this technology, then it's good for the ones who are backing this up, because it's going to keep going up. I have a small and medium-sized businesses that I control on my own, and I can definitely see how this can help me in many ways in my business. And this is why I believe in this project and why I'm excited about it, because I believe in it. I think it's going to help me with my businesses and projects that we have into this decentralized network. And also as an investment, if you have a small or medium-sized business, or if you believe in that small and medium-sized businesses are going to be, they're not going to go anywhere, and it's the house of every service and products that we pretty much buy. If you don't count the major retailers, then there's definitely benefit for them using this technology.
Yeah, that's right. And with that being said, there are many changes that are going on in the world right now, and that's something that people need to understand. These types of changes are, one, economic changes. We're going through an economic change right now. We're literally in the middle of two different economies that are about to happen. One is actually slowly dying, and these corporations are hanging on with dear life, and that's why you're seeing a rise in craziness out here, is because the ones of the older generations are hanging on with dear life in regards to squeezing out this money. But we're seeing also an emergence. One economic market is an emergence of a new wave, and it's a new way that things are being done, and it's being done in a digital platform that is working outside of the government, that is working outside of the bank. Now, when I say outside of the government, it's because the governments are highly tied with the bank, and a lot of these things are working, peer to peer, outside of those parameters. Now, the governments and banks are struggling to figure out, and there's literally conferences and hearings and all types of things that are going on daily. They're going on as we speak, and they're trying to figure out, what to make legal, what to make illegal, trying to figure out how they can get their hands in this, how they can tax things, how they can do things. But they're having difficulties in regards to trying to figure out some of these things, because a lot of these companies are holding their servers and business operations outside of the United States and outside of jurisdictions of countries that want to try to even control things. So this is a different way of business, and this is a way of business of the future. And that's just how things are going down. We've got new races out here, and what are those races? It's not just humans out here playing this game with this market anymore. There's literally artificial intelligences and bots that are now involved as well. And we're dealing with cryptocurrencies. These are currencies that are worldwide currencies that, it's not just humans playing with them. There's robots playing with them now too. So this is a market that's not just being held. Coins aren't just being held by people. People need to realize there's bots out here that are holding these currencies as well. So keep in mind, we're stepping into the new age.
And they operate with those coins. And the only way, imagine you give an artificial intelligence system or robot or humanoid, whatever you want to call it, fiat money. They can't, on a logical way, they can make that work, because the fiat currency is not based off a blockchain. So
right,
they
it's
can't,
valueless to them.
Yeah, it doesn't have any value for them, because it's built on a lot of different things, multiple things, and it's not decentralized. That's why currencies like this, like the cryptos, the top cryptos, like the Ethereum based ones, the Neo based ones, those ones are perfect for smart contracts, because everything is logical and put in such way that they have their own, how do you call this, their own foundational scheme. So they can you can duplicate, you can counterfeit this, you can't mess with it the way people mess with fiat currency. It's so just logical and so, I guess, so practical, right, and simple, but powerful at the same time, that it's the only way we can integrate artificial intelligence with an economy, and that way we can benefit and grow into this new economy, a new type of race that you're talking about, which is like, it's like a mixture, like a merging point where humans and artificial intelligence will continue growing, and maybe one will surpass the other. We never know.
Right, 100%. It's a wild thing. And I like your coverage on this particular altcoin as well. It makes awesome sense. It's very practical. And I really see this as being a strong coin. You know, I see it being as a very essential coin, you know, in the market for sure.
I love it. I love it too. And back to what we were talking about, the symbols. We were talking about magic, you know, and all these things. And look at this. They talk about wizards. Look at the symbol. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. You can see the symbol. It's a triangle with an eye in the middle, right? The symbolisms that exist with our culture and reality are just, they're not coincidences. They're just, the reason why they chose this is not just because they wanted to look nice on a triangle and have an eye in the middle. All of this has a meaning, and the owners, the team behind this project, at least the head, Roman Storm, which he goes as a solidity guru, right? He knows all about this at a very, very clear and precise level, because he's the one who's leading all this project, and all these people here are amazing. They have core developers, technical lead, researchers, project lead, developers, and all these advisors. They know what's happening in the real world. They know, they've seen the opportunity. They understand how this can benefit. And a lot of people don't even know what's happening behind the scenes, but these people are ahead of what's currently happening. And that's why they can benefit from this. This is why this project is solid. And there's a lot of people, if you go out and look and do your own research, because you're entitled to do that, and we recommend that you do your own due diligence when it comes to an investing. We just give you our opinions. You know, it's up to you to take the risk and do it. You're going to find good research about this project. That's why I'm excited about it.
For sure. Yeah, that definitely seems like an awesome coin to be holding. And how much is that one going for right now?
This 31 cents. 31 cents right now. It went up to 96 cents earlier. So I see it going up again more than $1. Another cool thing about this site is that it gives you examples of what the apps are using. So if you go to where it says the apps, they already have some apps that they're using in their life. This one's called Ceremony, Governance, Validators, Network Stats, Blockchain Explorer, Faucet. All these concepts that exist in the cryptocurrency world now suited up towards small and medium-sized businesses. And this is amazing, because the blockchain technology can let you do amazing things because it's fair. It relies on smart contracts, so there's no corruption, there's no middleman and so many hands coming in, you know, and getting involved with your project. Everything just flows naturally with the flow of nature, which is the blockchain. And this is amazing. All these things right here, they have identity dApps, you know, in progress, but they give you examples of what's happening. So you should check this out. They have the source code right there, very open, you know, very transparent, very cool looking, and it's on point. The information that they have here is definitely it makes sense as far as what they can benefit from all these small and medium-sized businesses.
For sure. Yeah, that's tight. I definitely like that for sure. And like you said, 37 cents, 38 cents?
31 cents.
Oh, 31 cents.
32,520. And then you see it here. I got it almost one time at 70 cents, and probably earlier was a little higher. But you see 200 million, total supply 254 million only. You can grab this one over at Binance, a POA. On Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB coin market, and I'm liking this one a lot. I think it's gonna play a nice part in this economy.
Heck yeah, for sure, definitely. I like that one. That's definitely one to keep an eye out on. And you know, anybody who's watching this, you know, if you guys have any questions in regards to any of this stuff, you know, feel free to leave comments below, and you know, we'll be more than happy to to converse with you and, you know, dive deep and, you know, figure all this out.
That's right. That's right. Let's take a look really quick at the one of the things that I like when I look at a project is the Telegram community. Telegram is big, guy. Telegram is huge. As it's the number one platform for cryptocurrency projects. I think everyone uses Telegram, and then they use Discord, but I think Telegram is where the most activity comes with, and you can program it. There's a reason why they use Telegram. You know, it's one of the most, I guess, transparent, you know, messaging platforms out there, as they say, you know, but it's the choice. Let's see how many people they have in this community. They have 2,000 members. This is a fairly recent project, so it has 2,000 members. That's a good sign. You know, it's not like a desert. There's people in this chat room, and I definitely think. Let me see if I can join, see what kind of activity they have.
Yeah, for sure. And while you're jumping in there, Raph, I just wanted to state as well in regards to, you know, the current market situation. As we've seen, you know, all the cryptos, we're seeing red. You know, the cryptos are diving down. Some people are, you know, talking about, oh, that's the bubble, that's the Bitcoin bubble, it's over now. Silly nonsense. But there has been a spook in the market, though. And that spook in the market is this Republican bill that's trying to actually bring back the gold standard. You can take a look at it. If anybody wants to verify or anything like that, you can go to congress.gov. It's the H.R.5404. It's a bill that's to define the dollar bill as a fixed weight of gold.
Now, which one? I can. Okay.
So you can pull it up. All right,
yes.
Check it out. So you can pull this up. It's going to be H.R.5404.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and take a look at that. It should pull up.
To define the dollar as a fixed weight of gold. Exactly what you said.
Now this is new information. This is new. This is as of, this came around March 30th. But if you take a look, when this started gaining recognition, when people started finding out about this, because as we know, there's so many bills and so many things that are being passed behind the veil. Y'all need to wake up. But, you know, we always hear that. I don't know how many people actually are going to wake up to any of this, but things are happening as we speak. There's probably many bills that are being passed tonight as we speak, and we don't even know it's going down. However, this is a very, very important thing to understand here, because there's a lot going on with money. There's a lot going on with fiat currency. There's a lot going on with the dollar bill. And right now there's a big push to keep this dollar bill alive. If y'all know, there's not any currency that has lasted more than 60 years, with the exception of, you know, the American dollar bill and maybe one other. However, the American dollar bill, you know, it's tanking. We already know that this is not backed by gold or silver. It's not. Money's being printed out of thin air. However, there has been the biggest grabbing of gold and silver, and, you know, most of the world powers and elites, they have all the gold. Raph, you've pulled it up before. You know, the actual amount of gold that's in circulation is not a lot. It's pretty much enough gold that would fill an Olympic-sized pool, and that's it. That's all the gold left that's in circulation, because, you know, you've got whole dynasties that are literally hanging on to this gold, and, you know, the Federal Reserve, they've been stockpiling gold as well. You know, the Bilderberg groups and all of these organizations just stockpiling gold. Well, here's a new development here, and this is a bill to define the dollar as a fixed weight of gold. Now, this is mind-blowing to me, because just as we thought that we've seen the American dollar about to be on its way out, as the cryptoverse is vacuuming all of the fiat currencies, it's inevitable that it's all going this way. However, this is something that can slow down the progress just a little bit if this actually happens. Do I want this to happen? To be honest with you, I don't think so, because I don't want the Federal Reserve and the type of monetary system that we have in this world to continue any longer. It's a slave debt wage system, even though the cryptoverse is the same thing as well. At least you're doing things that you want to do, and getting compensated for it. This debt slave system that we're in is literally work to the bone and get nothing in return for it, except make the elite richer. And it's a disgusting thing. And this is a development that is starting, that may really, really take place big time, is to actually define the dollar as a fixed weight of gold, because they have stolen so much gold, and they actually do have gold to keep stuff running and back. Once you, out of the years and years and years of lying from the Federal Reserve and from the banking systems and the scams that they've been doing, and the massive inflated bubbles and everything like that, they've been running a racket for years. And now they've stolen enough gold and everything like that for them to actually have the nerve to say, hey, you know what? We're actually going to implement a bill to define the dollar as a fixed weight of gold, so it can actually be backed by gold and silver again. And not anybody even knows that this is happening. It's a wild thing. But since this news is starting to come out, that does cause a lot of fear in the cryptoverse, and this is where they want to try to maybe pump the stock market back up again, and try to correct some of these bubbles. But it's getting too late. We are getting to a time of a reset. But this is just something to keep an eye on. This is some next level digging and diving deep in regards to some of the movements with the market.
On point, and 100%. And this is happening right now as we speak. This is the current news, that the ones that at least you should care about, because this is real. This is what happens. This is what, one of the reasons why society is like it is right now. That's right. No coincidence. Everything happens for a reason, and there's always something behind, and there's always something behind and behind and behind and behind, like a chain reaction of things that turn out the outcomes that we have today. But there's hope, there's light for a much better humanized, decentralized community, a better partnership, a better brotherhood among countries. When everything is starting to be decentralized, things are going to be much fair. Things are going to be much equally. There's going to be everything that happens on the internet, and the cryptos are web currencies and assets and investments. The internet doesn't judge you by your race, your religion, your IQ, your whatever it is. If you're black, Asian, white, it doesn't care. It doesn't discriminate. It's fair, right. And it has the ability to put everything that flows through it to inherit the same properties. So I think it's definitely one of the things that can leap humanity to a much evolved, much better, much more efficient, and much more fair culture. But we'll see. We'll see if that's meant to happen. But those are one of the benefits, of all this movement behind the scenes, and what it really means.
Definitely, man. It's a wild world that we're living in, and we're actually living in that time of that paradigm shift. We're actually seeing massive movements. 2018, the power year. Power year. Many movements are going down, and you better believe that it's 2018, bro. It's April right now, and I can think about right now. It seems like it was just yesterday that it was 2018, and I was like, 2018. Is about to be a good year. It needs to be a good year, because 2017 was insane. And I know it was wild for a lot of people, but you gotta believe that 2018's already been more insane than 2017 altogether, with what's been going on these past 4 months. You can't make up the stuff that's going on in this world right now. And it's all tied together. It's an insane and wild thing, brother.
Bro, it's been so crazy. Why don't we wrap up the podcast, and let's talk to finalize about what just happened recently. Definitely has something to do with what's happening in the blockchain of life behind the scenes. Let's talk about a little bit of what happened recently in California, the YouTube headquarters. There was a shooting down there.
Bro, wild thing, man. Rap. All that I know is, man, I can always turn to you. To be a brother in truth. because it's either you're finding out things right at the source or I'm finding out things right at the source. And then we collab together and just have massive downloads in regards to
we mine and crunch algorithms together. Yeah.
Data mining all the time, which is a wild thing, man. And ever since I first met you, bro, you know, we've been friends ever since 2011, man. And
yes,
since I met you, bro, you were a little kid, man. I took you under my wing because I was like, man, this dude knows what's going on out here in a world that not too many people actually understand, man. You actually knew, you know what I'm saying? You were mining cryptocurrencies in 2012 out here when nobody even understood what a Bitcoin was, man. You talk about the deep web and everyone looked at you dumbfounded, you know what I'm saying? And you're
like, I was nuts, man. Like, I was like whacked. Like, what are you talking about? What is
my homie Raph out here mining cryptocurrencies, slapping Radeon graphics cards together on a circuit board. You know what I'm saying? And mining things together, man. That's a wild thing. And we were diving deep about Project 2049 way back in 2011, yo, and when we were talking about uploading consciousnesses and the surrogate bodies and eventually into that whole internet of things. We were diving deep, having massive data mining sessions in 2011, 2012, and one who would be listening upon the information that was being shared and the type of energy that was being conjured could only just stand there dumbfounded that the information just flies over their head and the IQ level couldn't even keep up with the data mining.
They can't keep up, man. It was just
they can't keep up.
They can't keep up, man. It was affecting our systems. You know, it was like a downgrading. You know, downgrading.
That's right. Yeah, man. The process is running slow, bro. You know what I'm saying? These computer systems out here running off old DOS systems, just archaic information, they just have archaic storage systems, and they're just walking around here. You can't process any of the new information. I hate to talk like that, but you know, you old models out here with old programming and software, it's time to upgrade. You know what I'm saying?
Upgrade, people, upgrade. And it's free. It's free. It's free.
Right. It's a wild thing. But bro, all that I know is yesterday you gave me a call, or you texted me.
Yeah.
You texted me, it was about 4:30
Eastern time, yeah.
Eastern time. And you texted me about there was an active shooter situation going down in California.
That's right.
That for anyone who's listening to this, understand that that's very quick to the source. There not too many media sources were even on live the information just yet. Remember as well, when breaking news comes out and you're looking at about you're seeing live news and everything like that, you're looking at about a 7-minute delay anyway. So think about this. You were pretty close to the source. Now, I was actually on that information about 8 minutes before you had texted me, so I was already trying to dive deep. Now, would you believe that when the information that we found out was that there was an active shooter situation at the headquarters of YouTube in San Bruno, California. This, to me, was a thing that as soon as I heard this information, because I belong into a few different groups as well that are in Discord and also in Telegram, just like what you were saying, amazing application. Telegram, if anybody can get in with a good group with Telegram, yo, that's one of the best things ever. It's a messaging system that it's hard to describe. I don't even want to go diving deep on that right now, but it's just a great thing, especially if you're involved with some good groups in there. You won't miss some very important information that's going down. But anyway, we're right at the source of things, all the time. And, I was trying to find out what was going on, and I didn't want to immediately jump to conclusions and say false flag or, fake news or anything like that. I did not want my mind to immediately go there. I wanted to have my mind to just have an unbiased opinion in regards to what was going on and take the information as it came in. However, Raph, I tell you what, man, it's too hard for me to not go into that mindset, because there's no coincidences out here in the world. You feel me? Bro, we already know the type of heat that Google and YouTube has already been into massive data mining breach of epic proportions, and nobody even really cares because nobody even really understands the ramifications of all of this until things get too out of control, and then people are left standing around going, I can't believe we saw this happen, or how did this happen? Meanwhile, you've got a group of cats out here being like, do you not see the writing on the wall? Do you not see that this is all planned? It's literally laid out. Well, I try not to let my mind go to that in this particular scenario, but come on, think about the coincidence. The heat that YouTube's in for censoring information, censoring massive amounts of information. Google and Facebook, they're under massive amounts of heat for selling off everyone's personal data to organizations, intelligence agencies, and the highest bidder. And the highest bidders are making systems that go against your own thinking, because your own thinking is already mapped out by artificial intelligence systems that already think 1,000 moves ahead of you. And if nobody can believe that, then you don't know what the system Deep Blue is, which is the chess computing system that smashed the world's best chess player, and that homie couldn't make even one move. And then what does that computer go and do? It makes a duplicate of itself to play itself, and that duplicate system of itself beats Deep Blue because it's already advanced itself in consciousness. And then what did that Deep Blue 2.0 do? It did the same, but instead this time duplicating itself one time, it went ahead and duplicated itself on a binary system, so that it knew that every time that the new replicants would evolve, that it would beat itself over and over again and continue to evolve on massive data mining type of operations that put itself thousands and thousands and thousands of steps ahead of the original Deep Blue, while the original Deep Blue goes, hey, you know what? I'm 1,000 steps ahead of any human anyway. What's my next task to do? Well, this is all going ahead and doing its own thing. That's just one example of the way that that particular system evolved itself in its thinking in regards to evolving itself smarter than an individual that was playing in chess. Now, you better believe that there's systems out here that are made specifically to evolve based upon human consciousness and made specifically to evolve and predict every move that you make. They pull it in packets. So they just mine massive amounts of information into little pieces of packets that they have, that you're creating your own digital footprint on your own little server. You already have one if you have an iCloud account, and a Google account, and Instagram account, and a Facebook account. You think that this is all free. Yeah, you may have free accounts, but this is not free. This is at the expense of your own life, because they, just for you agreeing to having these systems, you're agreeing to the terms and conditions that you didn't read, that tell you that they can do whatever they want with your information, and they're going to sell it to anybody and any subsidiary companies and any company that pays for it. And they're selling all of that information, and they have every move that you made and in the future predicted. And from there, they're going to go ahead and base upon that classes of societies, ways that they can target information to you, and things that you can't even fathom are going on with your own information. And the largest data breaches that are being used illegally for illegal gain, for certain people to get into offices, and different players and movements going around in this world are being used based upon your information that's been mined and sold. And Facebook and YouTube and whatnot are getting a lot of heat for this. This is becoming mainstream information and mainstream knowledge, and they can't hide this stuff no more. And they can't hide this stuff so more that I'm talking about Facebook overnight losing $50 billion overnight in the stock. Overnight, and people still don't even understand what's going on out here. 50 billion, and that's with a B. That's more money than that's more zeros than most people can even count to these days. And that was lost overnight. You feel me? There's massive sways going on in the markets right now. Sways in which nobody has seen before. Sways that are in more epic proportions than the Great Depression. And you better believe that we're moving to that type of an area as well. And there's many different things that are happening. There's rises of empires. There's rises of factions. There's factions ready to kill off other factions because they're time for new blood to move in. And the rise of the tech, is taking over the rise of science, and the AI is fighting with science and religion. And bro, we're getting to a boiling point. But all that I know is what happened out here. You were at the source. You told me that this stuff was going down. I was already trying to find out information as well. And there's no coincidence that there's this type of information that is coming out. We were getting information from mainstream news yesterday that there was a shooting going on at YouTube headquarters. And did you hear they were saying that this was a domestic dispute, right?
Yes.
I'm not making this up, right?
That's facts.
In my experience and in your experience and in everybody else's, if you were getting this news from Apple News or from any of the mainstream news sources, they were saying that it was a woman who took a gun into YouTube headquarters and committed acts of violence, what seemed to be a domestic dispute. I kid you not. This was what was being said. Now, my mind went to, you know what? This is probably going to be a scenario in which they're going to claim it to be some sort of a person that is outraged in regards to the information being censored on YouTube or one of their social medias, and they're outraged and they're going to be able to use this, create some sort of a false flag or some sort of a coup to be able to use this to demonize anybody who's speaking out about their information being censored or anybody who's speaking out in regards to the stuff that's going on in Florida, the stuff that's going on in Vegas. All of these types of false flag attacks that if you even mention them being false flag or speak out any truth of information in regards to them, you get your stuff shut down, silenced, censored, striked, everything like that. And I said, you know what? They're going to use this as a perfect means to demonize anybody who is for the movement of truth, anybody who's speaking out against these things, anybody who's speaking out about QAnon or anything like that. They're going to use this to demonize those types of people, to make them seem like they're very dangerous and they're ready to pop off at any time. And what do you know? Yesterday, the mainstream narrative was some domestic dispute, and then you wake up this morning and what do you see? Headlines every freaking where saying that it was a YouTuber disgruntled over censorship. The narrative comes back around full circle to exactly what the plans are. The plans are to continue to propagate this agenda of gun grabbing, of the fake news. You know, they're trying to solidify and bring faith back into these mainstream news sources and try to discredit anybody that is speaking truth in what's considered the alternate media outlets, or what is now being recognized as cats out here in the game who have YouTube and even in Instagram and Twitter, who are legit regular people who are speaking out about these types of things, and they're actually starting to gain a lot of traction now. And they're actually starting to disprove the fakery and the lies that are going on in the mainstream media, and they're starting to lose their grip. They're starting to lose their grip as they are rolling out false flags with crisis actors. You can't make this stuff up when videos are being just released in regards to all of these things going on. You can't make this stuff up. And yet they try to keep the cognitive dissonance so high. We're under psychological warfare. The psyop is so high. We're under CIA, mind control, MK Ultra, Project Monarch, Project Monitor. All of these things are going down, and everybody's involved, and everybody's in one big hypnotic trance to this information. Now, with that being said, like I said, with this shooting, bro, the narrative is now disgruntled YouTuber off of censorship. But bro, some wild information with that as well, because if you take a look even at the mainstream media and what the mainstream media even speaks about in regards to the case, bro, you should pull this up just so that everybody can see. We should go to you could type in Google and type in her name or type in anything in regards to it. The first article that's going to pop up is probably going to be USA Today, because USA Today is typically always at the forefront of at the top of Google searches.
CNN, New York Times. It says right here, San Bruno shooting. YouTuber shooter visited gun range before attacking strangers, police say.
Yeah, let's scroll down real quick. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening here in regards. Okay, so CNN's on top right now, and let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and take a look just at the main narrative they're saying. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look, because bro, what they're talking about now is follows the same suit of everybody else. You know how they received word before this went down. Bro, it's mainstream news that's saying that her father, her Nassim's father and family reported to the police a day before this went down and said that she was missing. And they also told the police that they were scared that she may be going over to YouTube and do something because she hates them. This is the mainstream information. And the police gave a call to them yesterday before this even went down and said, don't worry, we found her sleeping in a car. Everything is okay. That's some wild stuff. And then what do you know? A few hours later, bam, things are going down there at YouTube headquarters. And it seems awfully suspicious if you take a listen to the police recording as well from the scanner. You can even hear a police officer stating that they saw 2 shooters. Now, that type of information is not being spoken about. So all that I'm saying is this particular situation, God forbid, I do, my heart goes out to anybody who's been affected by this particular scenario. It's never a good thing when this type of stuff is happening. However, and also may I interject and say that I am by no means stating that this is any type of a false flag or that there's crisis actors involved. I'm just stating that in my reality, this looks awfully suspect in regards to how things went down. And that goes into a bunch of different things in regards to taking diverging attention off of certain things that are going on in this world, certain movements that are going on in this world. This also assists in pushing a particular agenda, one being the censorship agenda. Not only that, but she's also Iranian, and this is pushing an Iranian agenda for the Iranian conflict, because who do we now have on the war cabinet, Trump's war cabinet? That's John Bolton. And John Bolton's main goal is to get into Iran unjustifiably. This is the reason why they're trying to find every angle possible to get into Iran, to get this oil coming back into U.S. hands. It's wild how this all ties in with each other.
Everything is related. It is all related.
100%. And there's a lot of wackiness that's going on with this. Now, for any of the cats out here who understand or follow QAnon just dropped some new posts today as well. And one of the QAnon posts was stating, keep your eye on Nassim's father. Keep your eye on him. QAnon posted. And what QAnon posts is pretty wild, the type of information that QAnon posts and to see those things come into fruition. So that's what Q said, is keep your eye on the father. So, that's what I'm going to do.
Let's keep an eye on him. Let's see what happens. Man,
Right.
crazy things people don't realize. People need to wake up, need to start understanding how things really work behind the scenes, and start, caring what the Kardashians are up to, or what's the new song, or what is the new fashion for whatever it is, and start really thinking about yourself. Because
that's right.
Real talk, nothing of the facts and successes or anything that happens in history is going to help you become who you want to become to be. It doesn't matter who's the president. It doesn't matter if there's a recession or not. That has nothing to do with who you are and what you're worth for. So don't let those things control you and keep you in that hypnotic trance of not being able to do anything, because you're just so tied up with so many stupid things are happening around your reality that have nothing to do with it, but it makes you feel like you're involved with it. Just step away. It's kind of like the red pill and the blue pill from the Matrix. That's what it is.
Right.
It's out there. Start understanding how things work, the foundation of things, and then realize for yourself what is your mission and what you have to do on this life that you have, and stop caring about what's on the media and focus on yourself, which is in the end what you're worth for.
That's right. Now, I agree with what you're saying 100%, Raph. You know, and the only reason why we bring up some of these things, and it is good to keep a little bit of an eye out in regards to what's going on, is because it is something that's a violation to our humanity and our spirituality and our energy. And to understand some of the movements that are going on will then assist you and help you be able to discern, you know, the wax fakeness that's going on out here. And it will allow you to make movements in this world, just like this cryptoverse. It will allow you to make movements in a way that is you're coming from a place of knowledge and from a place of discernment. So you'll be able to kind of read the energy a little bit better, just the way that you and I read the energy. You know, I mean, there's been so many times, Rap, that we catch, you know, when the trends catch, when these altcoins and cryptocurrencies are going to be taking their ups, and we know when they're going to be taking their downs. We can discern which ones are fake. We can discern which ones are here to stay, which ones actually are meaning something. We keep our eyes open to what's going on in the background as well. In the back scenes, we keep our eyes open to the bigger movements, because you better believe a lot of things tie in with each other. And we're just out here trying to raise the consciousness, trying to raise frequency. You know, we good people out here. We don't want to see humanity suffering and everything. There's literally enough wealth out here to go around for everybody to be eating well. And we don't have to be eating the McDonald's and crap that is being force fed to us. There's free energy out here. There literally is. And it's being stolen from us. You know, Nikola Tesla they stole the stuff from him. You know, there's free energy out here. There should be no reason why this is 2018 and we should be away from combustible engines. We should be away from raping and pillaging the earth of its rare natural resources and oil. That's old time stuff. We don't need to be using oil. There's kinetic energy out here. There's hydro energy out here. There's energy out here that people can't even imagine. Free energy, and working off of nodes and grids and everything like that. We're working off just the energy of the universe. We may get to a point at some point where we're utilizing those things, but in order for us to even get going in that direction, we need to wake up to some of the illusions that we've been literally hypnotized to. Break free from those trances. Understand that the news and a lot of the things that we're getting are just complete BS, plans, crisis actors, false flags. And you know what? It's beginning to look like, and I hate to say it this early on, but it stinks to high heaven, and it's looking like this new San Bruno incident is definitely along the lines of the same players involved in the game, the same motives and everything like that. It's shocking that this type of stuff has to go down. Now, whether or not anybody really died or not, you know, that's up for speculation. I can't say, but all that I know is that my heart goes out to everybody who's psychologically affected by that. And that's every single person who has even heard of this information is psychologically affected by it in some sort of a way. So we need to understand that there's a lot of fakeness going on out here. There's a lot of things that we need to just step away from, step free from, and start living our lives in a different way. With the cryptoverse, there is ways to make money, to get in, get out, get your fiat currencies, or even in the long run, hold some coins and everything like that. Because when these companies start blowing up, which some of these ones that are very essential are going to, you're going to be sitting at a very good place as far as whether you're working with cryptocurrencies or switching them over to the fiat currency notes, if the fiat currency notes are still here in the next few years, which we are literally living in a reality and a time where, you know what, we might not even have cryptocurrencies. And I can probably guarantee it, or not cryptocurrencies, but fiat currencies. And I can probably guarantee it within the next 10 years, there's not going to be fiat currencies. People are going to be like, what was that? What was a dollar? What was that? People are not even going to remember.
Nothing.
Yeah, they'll be wiped. Their mind will be wiped from it, because a lot of these cryptocurrencies that people are spending millions of dollars on are talking about these very technologies, talking about literally when we're on the 5G and blockchain and artificial intelligence is all merging together. Yeah, this is literally in the plans within the next few years. 2020 is the new space race. This is where everybody's literally scrambling, trying to get everything online and ready to go, because when singularity goes down, you better believe everything is going to start to be working together. Then consciousness is not going to be as we know it, because it's going to be tied in with tech. We're going to be receiving downloads, whether we're implanting our minds to some sort of a cloud server, a new cloud Akashic records, if you will, or something like that is happening. I firmly believe that there are already people that are plugged into that, because you better believe that they don't roll out this type of technology to the masses until it's already been tested, prototyped, revised, make sure a lot of the glitches and bugs are out of it, make sure that it can work with humans, you know, in a way that it's sustainable, at least for a few years, until they build something else up and, you know, and upgrade to the software and everything like that. But it's happening. It's here.
It's here. It's a quantum computing. And our brains are quantum computers, and they're already interacting with each other, but we don't see it yet because it's not to the masses, like exactly as you said. But there's already some individuals who have the ability to start uploading and downloading thoughts into a server, and that's next level. You know, that's going to be like in the movie The Matrix. Hey, I want to know how to do calculus. Okay, boom, in 1 second they install that thought in you. Now you know how to do that. Now you know how to speak that language. Those things are just not fiction, are a metaphor or representation of what actually we are working towards. And it's just all cyclical. It's going to come back and it's going to happen, but it will be just a matter of time.
Yeah, 100%. And it's here. And, you know, those are awesome things. You know, to think of something like that happening is an awesome thing. But we need to also remember on the flip side of the token what that means as well. These are militarized frequencies and bandwidth, and they're also working on systems that, you know, a bunch of people try in those realms, you know, to be our hackers and are able to reprogram things and whatnot.
Use them at their own benefit. Yep.
They could be used for their own benefit. And also keep in mind that these are militarized bands now that we're working off of. And when we get to the 5G, the patents are already out. A lot of the technologies are already out, that if you don't want to play ball in these new smart grids and smart cities and everything like that that's being rolled out, the Internet of Things, if you don't want to play ball, or if you are someone who's maybe a suspected disruption to that new techtopia, if you will, then you can literally be cut off just from, you know, the press of a button, and you are now not involved with this Internet of Things. And they're moving us into a reality that we rely 100% on that Internet of Things. And we're going to be coming up here very soon in a very strange predicament where there's going to be class wars. There's going to be race wars between the AI and humans. And for anybody who can't get their mind checked into it just yet, are the same people who do not realize that we have a humanoid, robotic, artificial intelligence walking around as citizen on this earth as we speak, citizen of Saudi Arabia, that was given the biggest arms deal, was traded for technologies between Trump and the House of Saud. And if anybody doesn't understand this, then we can talk about it at another time, or go ahead and in the comments say, hey, what are you talking about? I want to learn. And we'll dive deep on some next level stuff. You feel me?
Next time we'll dive into singularity, AGI, Saudi Arabia, House of Saud, and all what's happening, bro. That's going to be a good one, because this is the near future. This is 2 years from now. 2020 is the year of the AI, where everything's going to be more mainstream, where things are going to start popping off, and we're getting to you this information before it happens so you can benefit somehow with it.
That's right, 100%. Yo, I can't wait for that episode. And if anybody's listening to this, then you better believe, yo, that it's going to be some wild stuff. We're going to be talking about artificial intelligence, the House of Saud. Yo, and what else? You said something else that I can't wait to talk about, and that is singularity.
Singularity, man, yes.
That is something that's so mind-blowing. I can't wait to talk about singularity.
We're going to check out the project, AGI. We're going to look at the similarities. Check out Blade Runner. In case you haven't watched that movie, watch it before you come to that video, so more things will make sense to you. And that one's going to be a good one for you. So
definitely.
Keep tight.
Wait. Yeah, for sure. Well, Raph, man, that seems like an awesome episode that we had there. For anybody who's listening to this and digs it, this is something, Raph, that, you know what, we got to be consistent with.
Yes.
I think that, let's start diving deep on this maybe a few times a week. We'll start talking about cryptocurrency coins. We'll start seeing, how people respond to some of this information. Let's see what type of questions or comments that people may have, and we'll evolve from there. Just like the blockchain, we're going to evolve as well. Let's go ahead. We want to do some data mining. You know what I'm saying? We want to advance our IQs as well, get some blocks in the system, and receive the benefits from the artificial intelligence or from the universe in regards to the information and the love and the energy that we're sharing out here.
Let's do it, man. I love it. I love it.
All right, Raph. Well, hey, once again, as Dorian Dimensions, aka the Realm Renegade, I appreciate everyone listening to me. And Raph, it's awesome, you being able to provide this platform as well for us to be able to dive deep on this information as well. So, you know what, brother, I love you and I respect you for all that you do in regards to that.
Love you too, man. This is amazing. We're Coin Cold here, bringing you the latest at the source of the information for you to benefit in this crazy world and to start grasping the knowledge that you should really care for. All right?
Right. All right. We're diving deep.
All right, guys. Till next episode. This is Coin Cold. Thank you. Signing off. Thank you so much, Dorian. You're the best, bro. Love you.
All right. Thank you.